Freddy Fazbear has finally been brought justice when it comes down to action figures. And here's how. With the newly acquired license holder, Jazwares, making a big first release of products, they threw in multiple different types of action figures into their first wave. As of now, the two lines are the World of FNAF series and the Endo series. Both lines of figures having their own unique gimmicks, which I'll show up on the screen right now. And recently, I was luckily able to get the Endo series Freddy Fazbear action figure earlier than usual. So, without further ado, let's get started.
And in all its glory, the Endo series Freddy 2-pack. This guy, when I found him in stores, I genuinely freaked out because I don't think they're actually even meant to be out right now. The store I found him in, it's called Books A Million. They're starting to get a bunch of stuff in early, and I was able to get a few things when I went hunting out for just a bunch of random Jazwares stuff. But this might have been like the best find I had that entire day. So let's get a closer look at this guy. Here is his box. We get the FNAF logo at the top, the cool Freddy render over here. We got a little 8+ sign up here, which I genuinely would not recommend this for kids because of all the small pieces, which you'll see later. So at the bottom we get the one set, and we have battery. Like the whole box theme, it's like if you were on the cameras in the actual game. And then we got the actual logo for the series called the Endo series. And then down here we also have the name of the two characters. We got Classic Freddy on this side, and then Withered Freddy, but they made a little mistake with the typing here. We got Withered Freddy. So that's funny. This is a collector figure, so this is more like aimed towards, like, you know, the more mature collectors. The other set of action figures, the World of series line, that's aimed for like more of a younger audience, which, yeah, looking at those figures, you can really see why. On this side, we have includes Endo 1 and character parts, which here he is. The boy himself is finally getting more merch. Endo 01. And then the two sets, like the two suits. And then here we got like a little instructions thing on how the pieces actually snap to each other, snapping onto the Endo. And then, yeah, we can dress this guy up in both suits, which is really insane that we went from figures that you just like build and stuff to stuff where you can just like, boom, you have an actual Endo now. That's awesome. And then we also have glowing eyes, which his eyes are glow in the dark, so that's gonna be cool to see later in the dark. And then we have just more cool like camera like thingies here. Cam 4A, and then you. Whoa, wait. On this side we got Freddy render, and the price I paid for this action figure, which was $31.99. I think they should actually be retailing around $25, which isn't that bad of a price for a pretty cool set. And then down here we get the FNAF logo. On the back we get the FNAF logo up here again, the renders for the Endo 01, Classic Freddy, and Withered Freddy. Includes pieces for two characters for the Endo, obviously. Withered Freddy looks a lot dirtier on here than on the actual figure, which is kind of strange, I guess, but he still looks really great there. The big Freddy render, and then on the background we see the Celebrate poster in the FNAF 1 office. And then on the bottom we get the rest of the set, which only 2 of the 4 on here are actually out right now, which is Classic Freddy and the Classic Bonnie. Classic Chica and Classic Foxy should be releasing around December time. Honestly, I might have to pick up this entire set. Just with Freddy alone, I've honestly been really hyped to open this guy ever since I got him. So yeah. And then the little cool little phrase here, get them before they get you. So yeah, that's really it. Also on the top we get the cool Freddy render again, the FNAF logo. And that's it. Nothing much on the bottom besides warnings. So yeah, I'm really excited to open this guy up. So let's do that. Alright, so before getting into the actual figure, we got a set of instructions here, which actually shows us how to put every figure together, or how to just put their pieces on, which there is a ton of pieces here, which is really insane. There's classic Freddy's pieces, and then Withered Freddy down here with just all the instructions, nothing on the back, obviously. So yeah, put this aside. They also get this cool little background, which is the FNAF 2 office, which is definitely going to be perfect for any collector that wants like a little like background piece, or just a little thing for pictures. So yeah. And onto the figure itself. Here he is out of the box. There's extra plastic on top of the actual suits, so they don't like completely fall out beforehand. So I'm gonna take that off. Ooh, okay. Gotta be careful here because I don't want all of like the pieces just falling out completely on me. Oh, shoot. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna take all the pieces out and see what I can do here. Alright, so after totally not scattering the entire set all over my table, I finally got it all out and organized all of it. But first, let's take a look at this Endoskeleton, because off camera, I've actually been having too much fun with this guy alone. He has so much articulation. First of all, this guy is covered in a bunch of ball joints and swivels. So basically, he has this ball joint in his torso, which he can go just woo. He can go in circles here, and he has a thingy. I don't know what they really call it in action figure terms, but he can go up yay high, and he has an elbow joint which goes up past 90 degrees, which is good for an endo. He's waving. He's on a ball joint for his hands, and it has the thing so it can go down like that, go back like that, and just move around. Woo. Yeah, he can. Oh, his head can move, which is great to see, and he has jaw articulation, as you can see. It's a little hard right now, but he can move his jaw, which is great. So yeah, same thing over here. He can move. He can move. Whoa! Oh yeah, they're meant to do this. That scared me for a second. They're on a ball joint, so it can easily snap back on. The endo says hi, hello. And down here we have drop down hips, which is insane for a FNAF action figure. But this is also really good to see on an action figure like this. He is also only single joint on the knee. He has a ball joint and the little swivel thing. I think that's what it is, on his foot. So he can just move it all around, and then he can go yay back and yay forward like that. So I feel like this foot's a little loose. I really hope it doesn't like break off or anything. So yeah, so all the holes on the endoskeleton, they are meant for the pegs for the suits in the back. As you can see, we got classic Freddy over here and Withered Freddy over here. Another fun fact about these guys is that, as you can see back here, his eyes are removable. So with a little bit of force, I can't really get into that, but it's like moving around a little. Oh my god, hold on, there we go. But his eyes are removable too. And here is like the little peg for their eyes. It's like a half circle. That's it. There's his eye. So I'm gonna put that back in now. This guy's also pretty detailed. If you like zoom in on him, you can see like there's like a bunch of like little dots on him, like because he's like, you know, the metal inside of the suit. A little rusty, I guess. On the back, it's more visible here. There you go. So yeah. This guy alone is genuinely really good. I really wish they included 2 of these for the both suits, but it's fine. I hope they end up including more, because this guy is just funny to pose by himself. His articulation is just yeah, kapow. Woohoo. So yeah, this guy's really cool to pose on his own, but he's gonna be even cooler once we put one of the suits on him. And obviously, I got to start off with classic Freddy. So let's do a time lapse of me putting that guy on. So now having Freddy like fully built onto the Endo suit, a lot of the articulation is going to be a lot more limited now that the suit is actually on. I'll showcase that. So here is his arm. Let's see. So his arm doesn't go as high anymore. Less than 90 degrees up now. Yeah, it doesn't go all the way up anymore. He has like a little shoulder pad there, which is kind of weird. I feel like it would have done better if it was on the actual torso piece instead of the arm, but it also like messes up articulation there too. I would showcase the ball joint for it, or the swivel for that little hands, but there's like some plastic not like letting it move for some reason, so every time I try to move it, it just pops off instead. So it's not that good, I guess, for mine at least. But here we go. The torso ball joint, still you can still move him around. You can and you can also do a 360 on him. So yeah, he still has the drop down hips or drop down legs, which is good to see on this guy. He can probably sit down if he really wanted him to. So yeah, he can sit down. Ooh, okay. And then his legs, they can still go back, but they only go back that much. Which, hold on. Yeah, they can only go back this much. His legs, his feet can still like swivel around, go up and down a little. Just yay much. Yeah, it's still swivel. And yeah, he also has this little jaw articulation, which I do think that he looks a lot better if you have his mouth open than closed, because his teeth are just gone, and that just stupid face he has. Because the eyes, I feel like the eyes are just a little too bulgy on him. They stick out too much, at least. I feel like if the sockets were like a little larger so we can see like the inside a little bit more, it would look a lot better for this guy. I also feel like they should have at least, colored in the inner ear. I don't something about that I don't know. It looks a little weird, I guess. But yeah, I like that he has his jaw articulation. His head can also swivel around 360. I wish he could like move like a little like up or down, but it can only go side to side, which kind of sucks. But yeah, this guy isn't that bad. I do think he is a lot better, more game accurate, but the colors are a little weirder on this guy than the Funko one. I don't have the Funko one to compare, sadly. For modern day Freddy Fazbear, this guy does do really, really well for just collectors in general. I really like this guy. He has a lot of articulation, even though a lot of it can be limited now with the suit. So yeah. And now we got one more suit to go. So this is gonna be a little bit of a struggle again. His suit is like a little more messed up. I tried to organize Freddy's before I built him, but yeah. So let's move on to Withered Freddy. And so now taking a look at the Withered Freddy action figure, wow. It's genuinely so insane that almost a decade later and we're just now finally getting action figures of the withered characters. Like, just seeing this guy is so surreal. Like, look at him. He's like fully detailed and everything. He has like all the withered patches all over him. He's like pretty accurate to the games. He still uses like the same base colors that Classic Freddy did. Let's get a closer look at him. But if you like zoom into him, you can see that he has like a little like dirty wash on him, like all over like his body, which yeah, if you get like real close, you can see that a lot more clearly. Around his body, he has all the withering, obviously. There's some pieces where it doesn't look like it's fully complete, which I don't know if that's just like an error with mine or if it's supposed to be like this. It's more visible over here. You can see like the outlines for a lot of the withering parts that aren't like actually like, you know, hollow or whatever. But I don't know if it's supposed to be like that or an error. I'm gonna assume it's supposed to be like this, which is, it's fine, I guess. Here is him opening his mouth. You can see the little connecting piece for the Endo. I'll try to remove his head here so you can see, but there we go. So this is Freddy without the mask on, and with the little connecting piece here, if you put that in there, it connects and then the jaw moves. And like the little piece just like in the mouth, it's more noticeable on Withered Freddy than on Classic Freddy. So yeah, let's put this guy's mask back on. There we go. So another thing I like about this figure is the inner ear is actually colored on this guy. His eyes are like actually a little further back instead of like fully popping out like on Classic Freddy. So they have a little more depth into them, which is really good. I wish you were able to see the eyelids a little better though. That's like the major complaint I've had for this guy and Classic Freddy. But like overall, this guy's really good. Let's take a look-see at his articulation with this suit on instead. So I'll just you can do like, she's practically almost the exact same as Classic Freddy, but you know, with some of the patches, like the withering patches, you can do a little bit, like just a little bit more, I guess. He's also like a little slimmer on the body, so you can move a lot more. Mostly with the ball joint for the waist, he can move a lot more than Classic Freddy could. And yeah, it's really cool that we can actually see this character as an action figure now that Jazwares has the license. Because who knows how much longer it would have taken other companies to like make an actual action figure, not like a little figurine or anything. So yeah. And here is the Endo series Freddy next to some other 6-inch figures such as Mr. Fantastic and Chainsaw Man. And honestly, Freddy does end up being on the smaller side of the scale, which kind of sucks. He doesn't really scale the best with other 6-inch figures. So I hope we do get like more of a deluxe collectible action figure when it comes to FNAF from Jazwares. I heard that they did tease it a while ago, so hopefully they end up looking a lot better than how the Endo series figures are looking right now. And here is Endo series Freddy alongside some of the Funko action figures. I don't have a normal Freddy, but I do have Frostbear and Shamrock Freddy. He is going to scale a lot larger than any of the normal Funko action figures, which I'm honestly seeing as a good thing. I actually really like seeing
how this line is just bringing in like a larger scale that is kind of fitting in with some other like lines of different figures, like the Total Anime Jazwares line and the Marvel Legends. While not there yet, it's still getting closer. So yeah. And since it's practically impossible for me to display all 3 figures all at once because of how I can only use a single endoskeleton here, I'll just showcase some turntable footage I took of all 3 of them separately. I really do like this pack a lot. As of now, it's probably one of the more unique action figures you can get from FNAF. The molds used for these figures are really accurate to the games. I really like that we're finally getting a Withered Freddy and a better looking Freddy. I do think that their colors are a little off. They're more on the orange side than on the brown side. I do think Funko did a little better when it comes down to the color for Freddy. Even though this is their first wave, I do think there is a lot of room for improvement later on down the line. So I really hope that Jazwares like locks in for this line, because this is genuinely probably the most fun I've ever had with an action figure as of recently. I really like the gimmick that they have with the snapping like parts onto the endoskeleton. Even though it's a little bit of a hassle for me at least. I do think that this figure is practically just not meant for kids at all. It's more of for like more mature collectors, because with all the little pieces, it could lead to like stuff getting lost, or just who knows where they could end up. So I really do like these figures. And I almost completely forgot to mention this, but their eyes can glow, which is really cool. So here is some footage of that. And that's basically it for this review. I honestly really do have high hopes for Jazwares and the direction they're going with the FNAF IP. Honestly, so far with their first wave, they're doing great. The action figures, they all looked really fascinating. They're all unique in their own way. The plushies look really good so far. I have a few, and I'm planning to do a review when I get the entire set. I might get some of the other action figures whenever I do get the chance. So hopefully later on in the year, you guys get to see more reviews from me. And if you like this type of content, make sure to like and subscribe. And I guess I'll see you later. Goodbye.